Family, ladies and gentlemen, let me begin with a question that may disturb you before it delivers. If you were paid only for the time you spent building your own dream instead of discussing someone else's, how wealthy would you be today? That question is not meant to condemn you. It is meant to awaken you. Because the greatest distraction from purpose is comparison. Family, and the greatest thief of destiny is unnecessary involvement in matters that were never assigned to you. The title of this message is simple but revolutionary: mind your own business. Family, you were not born to manage other people's opinions. You were not created to supervise other people's progress. You were not designed to police other people's mistakes. You were born with an assignment, and whenever you abandon your assignment to analyze someone else's, you delay your own manifestation. I mean, most people are exhausted not because they are overworked, but because they are over-concerned with lives they were never called to live. You cannot fulfill your purpose while monitoring someone else's path. Destiny requires focus. If I could hand you a bank account that determines your future, I would call it your focus, not your talent, not your background, not your connections, your focus. Because wherever your attention flows, your life follows. Many people are not broke financially. They are broke attentively. They have scattered their mental energy across opinions, comparisons, social media updates, and unnecessary commentary. And then they wonder why their own dreams are underfunded. You cannot build a powerful future with distracted attention. Focus is currency. Really, and most people are spending it on things that yield no return. Think about this carefully every single day. You wake up with a limited amount of mental energy. Family, you can invest it or you can waste it. When you wake up thinking about who is ahead of you, who is doing better than you, who is talking about you, you have already withdrawn from your own account. The mind was not designed to chase multiple destinies at once. It was engineered to pursue one clear assignment with precision. The sun's rays warm, but when concentrated through a lens, they ignite. That is what focus does. It turns potential into power. Let me challenge you with a question that may shift your life. What would happen if for the next 90 days you refuse to discuss anyone who is not contributing to your purpose? Imagine the productivity. Imagine the clarity. Imagine the acceleration. The problem is not that you lack opportunity. The problem is that your attention is divided. Divided focus produces delayed results. Concentrated focus produces momentum. And momentum is the language of progress. Most people underestimate the value of attention. They think success is about working harder. It is not merely about effort. It is about direction. You can work hard in the wrong direction and still end up frustrated. But when focus aligns with purpose, effort multiplies. You stop reacting and start building. You stop observing and start executing. You stop comparing and start creating. That shift alone separates leaders from spectators. There is a dangerous habit in our culture, monitoring others more than managing ourselves. It feels productive to analyze, to comment, to evaluate. But analysis without assignment is procrastination in disguise. Every moment spent tracking someone else's journey is a moment not invested in mastering your craft, and mastery requires undivided attention. The athlete who becomes world class is not the one watching every competitor. It is the one refining his own technique relentlessly. The entrepreneur who builds empires is not the one studying gossip. It is the one studying systems. You must guard your focus like a security officer guards a vault. Not every notification deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves your emotional response. Not every conversation deserves your participation. Attention is expensive. Spend it intentionally, because whatever you repeatedly think about begins to shape your identity. If you constantly think about what others have, you cultivate envy. If you constantly think about your assignment, you cultivate excellence. Consider how powerful this principle is. Attention determines expansion. What you feed grows. If you feed distractions, distractions multiply. If you feed vision, vision expands. Your brain is designed to strengthen whatever you repeatedly concentrate on. That means your destiny is not just a matter of fate, it is a matter of focus. You are programming your future daily through what you choose to think about. Imagine the transformation if you redirected every ounce of comparison into competence. Instead of asking, why are they succeeding? You ask, how can I improve my value? Instead of scrolling endlessly, you study deliberately. Instead of reacting emotionally, you respond strategically. That is how leaders think. They understand that focus is not accidental. It is discipline. The tragedy is not lack of potential. The tragedy is misplaced attention. Greatness demands obsession with your assignment. It requires saying no to noise so you can say yes to impact. When your focus becomes intentional, your progress becomes inevitable. And when your attention is aligned with your purpose, your life begins to move with clarity, authority, and unstoppable momentum. Let me begin with a question that may unsettle you in the best possible way. What if the very thing you are searching for is already inside you, waiting for your permission to emerge? Most people spend their lives trying to imitate greatness, not realizing they were designed to express it. Purpose is not a group project. It is not a public election. It is a personal assignment. And the moment you begin measuring your life against someone else's, You interrupt the discovery of your own design. You were not created as a copy. You were created as an original solution to a specific problem on the earth. That means there is something you are wired to do that no one else can execute in the same way. The tragedy is that many individuals die as imitations because they were too distracted to investigate their own blueprint. Purpose demands introspection. It requires you to look inward before you look outward, because what you are called to do will never be found in comparison. It will be found in conviction. Here is a powerful truth. When you do not know your purpose, you borrow someone else's, and borrowed vision always produces frustration. You can succeed at something that was never assigned to you and still feel empty. Why? Because fulfillment is not the product of applause, it is the product of alignment. Alignment occurs when your gifts, your passion, your values, and your contribution intersect. That intersection is personal. It cannot be replicated. It cannot be outsourced. Let me challenge your thinking even further. The reason you feel pressure to compete is because you have not fully embraced your uniqueness. When you are secure in your assignment, competition loses its intimidation. You understand that someone else's success does not diminish your potential. The sun does not compete with the moon. They rule different domains. In the same way, your calling occupies a distinct space. But if you spend your energy trying to shine in someone else's lane, you will exhaust yourself trying to prove what you were never meant to be. Purpose also requires responsibility. It is not enough to discover your gift. You must develop it. A seed has potential, but unless it is cultivated, it remains dormant. Many people pray for opportunity but neglect preparation. Yet preparation is the evidence that you respect your assignment. If you believe your purpose is significant, you will invest in sharpening it. You will read. You will practice. You will refine. Because purpose without development becomes wasted potential. Consider this: the world does not reward intention, it rewards value. Your purpose becomes visible when it solves problems. That means you must ask yourself a critical question: what problem am I uniquely equipped to address? The answer to that question unlocks direction. It moves you from confusion to clarity. It transforms your daily actions from random activity into intentional progress. There will be moments when others do not understand your path. That is expected. They cannot see what was not placed inside them. Purpose often feels lonely before it becomes influential. Family. But loneliness is not a sign of error. It is often a sign of distinction. When you are committed to your personal assignment, you may walk alone for a season. Stay disciplined. Stay faithful. Stay focused. Because authenticity attracts the right opportunities at the right time. Imagine the confidence that emerges when you fully accept who you are designed to be. No more unnecessary comparison. No more chasing validation. No more apologizing for your differences. Instead, you operate with clarity. You make decisions based on calling, not pressure. You invest time based on vision, not popularity. That is power. Purpose is personal. It is sacred. It is intentional. And when you embrace it completely, you stop trying to fit into spaces you were never created to occupy. You begin to build where you are planted. You begin to speak with authority. You begin to move with certainty. And the moment you align your life with your unique assignment, you step into a dimension of influence that no comparison could ever produce. Let me confront you with a penetrating thought. Your destiny is not destroyed overnight. It is eroded daily by undisciplined decisions. Greatness is rarely sabotaged by one catastrophic mistake. It is slowly weakened by small compromises, repeated distractions, and tolerated mediocrity. Discipline is not a punishment. It is protection. It is the security system of your future. And whether you realize it or not, every day you are either guarding your destiny or gambling with it. Many people misunderstand discipline. They see it as restriction, limitation, or rigidity. But discipline is simply controlled freedom. It is the ability to govern yourself so that external forces do not govern you. If you cannot manage your impulses will manage you. If you cannot regulate your attention, the world will gladly regulate it for you. And the world has no interest in protecting your purpose. Here's a powerful hook for your thinking. You do not drift into excellence, you drift into distraction. Excellence is intentional. Distraction is automatic. That is why discipline is necessary. It creates structure in a world that constantly invites chaos. Every notification, every opinion, every trending topic competes for your focus. Without discipline, you become reactive. With discipline, you become strategic. Consider how many destinies have been delayed because individuals could not say no. No to unnecessary conversations. No to environments that drain vision. No to habits that weaken clarity. The ability to say no is a sign of maturity. When you say no to distraction, you are saying yes to development. When you say no to drama, you are saying yes to destiny. Discipline is not about doing more. It is about eliminating what does not align with your assignment. Let me ask you something personal. What habits are quietly sabotaging your future? Is it inconsistency? Is it procrastination? Is it emotional reactions? You cannot build a powerful tomorrow on undisciplined patterns today. Your daily routine reveals your priorities, and your priorities shape your progress. Successful people are not necessarily more talented. They are more structured. They have decided that their future is too valuable to be left to feelings. Discipline also governs your thoughts. Not every thought deserves residency in your mind. Some thoughts must be evicted. Doubt, jealousy, insecurity, these are mental intruders. If you entertain them long enough, they begin to influence your behavior. But when you discipline your thinking, you take authority over your internal environment, and once you control your internal environment, your external results begin to change. There is something powerful about consistency. It may not feel exciting, it may not receive applause, but consistency compounds. Small discipline actions, repeated daily, create extraordinary outcomes over time. The athlete trains when no one is watching. The leader prepares before the meeting begins. The visionary studies while others scroll. Discipline is often invisible in the moment, but undeniable in the results. Understand this clearly: feelings are temporary, destiny is permanent. If you make decisions based solely on how you feel, your progress will fluctuate. Discipline anchors you when motivation fades. It keeps you committed when enthusiasm decreases. It reminds you that your purpose is bigger than your mood. Imagine the authority you would carry if your habits align with your goals. Imagine the acceleration if your time management reflected your vision. Imagine the confidence that would grow if you trusted yourself to follow through consistently. That is the power of discipline. It builds self-respect, and self-respect strengthens leadership. You cannot control every circumstance, but you can control your response. That control is discipline. It is the quiet strength that refuses to be derailed by noise. It is the inner resolve that protects focus. It is the daily decision to prioritize growth over gratification. And when discipline becomes your lifestyle, your destiny stops being a possibility and starts becoming a predictable reality. Let me begin with a truth that most people ignore. The world does not reward opinion, it rewards creation. Talking about success, criticizing failure, and analyzing opportunity are all secondary to building something of value. You can spend a lifetime pointing out what is wrong, but you will never inherit the reward of what is right unless you create it yourself. Criticism is cheap, creation is priceless. And those who master the art of creation over criticism are the ones who leave a lasting legacy. Many people think being productive means being busy. They fill their schedules with commentary, gossip, and comparisons, mistaking activity for accomplishment. But activity without intentional creation is mere noise. Imagine an artisan who spends hours watching others carve wood, criticizing their technique, and predicting their mistakes. That artisan will never build a masterpiece. Creation requires focus, investment, and courage. It requires the willingness to move from observation to execution. Here is a hook you must grasp. Every minute you spend criticizing, judging, or comparing is a minute stolen from your masterpiece. Time is finite, attention is limited, and energy is precious. If you invest them in someone else's story, you cannot invest them in your own. The great leaders, innovators, and visionaries you admire did not waste years debating the quality of others' work. They poured themselves into their own craft, refining it until it became extraordinary. Let me challenge your thinking further. Criticism often feels productive because it provides temporary relief. It allows you to feel superior without taking risks. It allows you to control the narrative of someone else's story while ignoring your own. But it is a trap. Criticism produces spectators, not leaders, observers, not influencers. If you truly want to impact the world, you must shift from commentary to contribution. You must redirect your energy from tearing down to building up. Creation also demands courage. The moment you decide to build rather than criticize, you step into vulnerability. You risk failure, you risk rejection, you risk exposure. But there is no growth without risk. The critic never experiences the exhilaration of breakthrough because their energy is tied to observation, not execution. The creator feels the thrill of shaping reality, of manifesting vision, of leaving a tangible mark that outlives them. Consider this: the world is full of people who can identify flaws, yet empty of people who can produce solutions. Every time you create, you fill a gap that others have only noticed. Your creations become proof of your capacity, credibility, and influence. Family, your work speaks louder than your words ever could. It transforms perception into reality, potential into performance, and intention into impact. Let me offer you another hook. Creation multiplies. When you produce something of value, it inspires others to contribute, collaborate, and elevate. Criticism isolates you. Creation attracts. It builds networks, the opportunities, and momentum. While the critic remains stagnant in observation, the creator accelerates through execution. Momentum is the reward of consistent, purposeful creation. Now consider where your energy is going. Are you commenting on life or contributing to it? Are you observing successes or building your own? Are you analyzing flaws or fixing them? The answers reveal your trajectory. Every great life is constructed on deliberate action, consistent effort, and the refusal to waste time on what does not serve its purpose. Creation is the engine, criticism is the brake. Choose wisely. Imagine the life you could live if you committed fully to creation. Your ideas would take shape. Your vision would manifest. family, your influence would expand. And the world would remember you not for what you criticized, but for what you contributed. The moment you embrace creation over criticism, you step into authority, impact, and legacy. You transform your energy into results, your attention into achievement, and your life into a story worth telling. Creation is not optional. It is a responsibility. Every gift, talent, and opportunity entrusted to you demands that you produce, that you build, that you leave something tangible behind. Criticism may comfort. Creation conquers. Criticism may entertain, but criticism may fill conversations. But creation fills history. And those who understand this principle do not merely participate in life, they shape it. In closing, I want you to leave with this conviction: your life is your responsibility. Your dream is your business. Your growth is your assignment. The world does not need another spectator. It needs your manifestation. Stop managing conversations that do not build your future. Stop investing in narratives that do not include your destiny. Stand up, take ownership, and declare, I will mind my own business because my business is my purpose. And when you do, you will discover something powerful. The moment you focus on your assignment, the noise fades, the critics weaken, the distractions lose authority, and your destiny begins to speak louder than any opinion ever could. Now go home, guard your focus, protect your vision, and build what you were born to build. Your business is waiting.